The Las Vegas Raiders low-key came out of the 2023 NFL Draft like bandits. Yes, they got Tyree Wilson at 7. I know the Liz Frank injury is a little bit of a red flag to a lot of people out there. I don't care. I'm excited because Max Crosby is finally going to have a running mate, and this D-line could be lethal. Overall, though, I think, honestly, the rest of this draft class for the 2023 draft class, that is for the Raiders, you got a lot of reasons to be excited. So Michael Mayer, I think he could end up being the steal of the draft and potentially a one-on-one replacement for Darren Waller there. I'm excited to see it. I think he's a better run blocker and probably going to be a really good pass catcher for the Raiders as well. I definitely think he could be a one-on-one replacement for Darren Waller when it's all said and done. Not right away, but I do think that down the line by the end of the season he's going to be that dude. Also Byron Young, the defensive tackle coming up out of Alabama. So this one was a little bit of a shock, as well as Trey Tucker in the 3rd round there at pick 100. That was their Darren Waller pick. Yeah, Trey Tucker and Byron Young, these two guys are kind of wild cards for me, even though I'm not going to count them out. I do think that there is a lot of upside with a guy like Byron Young. If you can kind of have him in a role where he is going against less athletic offensive linemen, I think he's got a shot, and he held pretty solid too in the run game when he had to take on double teams as well. Trey Tucker, he's going to be that Swiss Army knife in that offense. There's still so many weapons here, but hey, try to find a way to get him the ball and go from there. I'm excited about it. Jacorian Bennett, the corner coming up out of Maryland, the lightning fast corner coming up out of Maryland. I'm excited to see what he does in a cornerback room that, hey, needs the help. But overall, Aiden O'Connell, there in the 4th round there that they traded back up for, quite honestly, might be a guy that we see a lot sooner than people might want to admit because we don't know what's going to happen with Jimmy G and company. But overall, I do think we've seen some good things from him in OTAs and minicamp and all that. I'm excited to see what he does in the preseason. Then we can get more of an accurate representation of what this quarterback is going to be. Christopher Smith, or Chris Smith II, coming up out of Georgia. 2-time national champion. Love it. Kind of an indicator of his maneuver roles there. You love to see it. But in all seriousness, I'm really excited to see what Chris Smith does here with the Raiders. I think that with Trayvon Moehrig, even guys like Marcus Epps, like a lot is up in the air with this position for the Raiders. If Chris Smith comes in and just dominates, I think he could be a very good starter for the Raiders down the line. Amari Burney, the Swiss Army knife at linebacker. I think he's fast enough to keep up with anybody. I do question how he's going to do after only starting 1 year at Florida, but overall, I think he's going to be really interesting, at least a special teams type of talent, and maybe he can develop into a little bit more. Nesta Jade Silvera really held up solid in the run game, also did show a little something in the pass game. We'll see what he develops into. And yes, he was also the guy that did squirt, Williams, the quarterback from USC, with water earlier in the season, which, great, whatever. It's Caleb Williams, I'm sorry. But overall, it is what it is. But quite honestly, from top to bottom, this draft class has the potential to be special for the Raiders. This could really be a franchise-changing draft class. Between Wilson and Mayer, you've got two guys that are most likely going to start right away. Or at least if Wilson is behind a guy like Chandler Jones, fine. But I want the best player on the field, no cap. If it's Wilson, put him on the field. If it's not, let him learn and develop from there. Mayer, like I said, going to be that dude. Byron Young and Trey Tucker, two guys that have a lot of upside, and if they develop the right way, could definitely be huge steals in the 3rd round. Jacorian Bennett, like I said, going to be that corner. So honestly, at the top 4 picks here, you could have 5 potential starters here, when it's all said and done. Maybe even 6 and 7 in Christopher Smith and Amari Burney. We'll see what happens with Aiden O'Connell and Nesta Jade Silvera. But overall, this could be a very, very special draft class for the Raiders, and I'm excited to see what they do with it, because this could be franchise changing for a team that has needed a good draft class for at least a little while. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. That's what helps people find the show. Thank you guys so much for all of your wonderful support and everything. We love all of you. But at the end of the day, let us know what you guys think about our franchise-changing draft class for the Las Vegas Raiders in 2023.